I was homeless with 3 children. I found myself addicted to drugs, abusive relationships, unhealthy relationships, making decisions that were not appropriate for raising children.
When I found out I was diagnosed sick in 2012, I hated God for years, and I turned to drugs, and I was a full-blown addict for a while. And being single with my kids and homeless, and just had everything bad going on.
My family and I were facing homelessness on a really regular basis, about every 3 months.
A little over 5 years ago, I was picked up off a train. I came from Washington State Correctional Center for Women. I had been in prison. My children had been gone for a year. They were in foster care. My husband was in treatment. I was a drug addict. I was a nobody.
Nobody's here because they chose it. Nobody's here because they wanted to grow up and live in a homeless shelter, but they're here because they're in crisis.
Here at Open House, we really value independent living, and really it's a place where the family can become a family again.
Every room is different, depending on the needs and the family sizes. In my room, I have enough space for a king-size bed and a table and chairs, and it's a nice space. It's nice compared to what I had before, which was an air mattress on my mom's floor.
We offer Financial Peace University through Dave Ramsey. It's actually a really exciting class for our residents because somebody from a debt collection or a bank will come in and talk to the folks about what it looks like to save money, what is a 401k. And we actually linked up and partnered with a local credit union who is here on site in our new building. So as they're learning about finances, it's not just something that they're sticking in their tool belt. Then afterwards, they actually go and open a bank account. Currently, we have Clark College GED classes here. A lot of our folks have earned their GEDs while they're here, and several of them have ended up college graduates.
The main difference about Open House is that they provide lifelong skills. So it's not just like an overnight type of shelter where people just stay the night and they still have their same issues and then they go back on the street the next day. They stay and they give them GED classes, they give them parenting classes. They have a daycare here for the kids so that the parents can obtain jobs. They have those resources and that access.
We had the shelter, and then we had this annex building. And it really started as just a corner of a room, and now it's grown into a complete thrift store, coffee shop, bike shop, kids clothing, antiques. And instead of going out and finding work, we really wanted to work with people on how do you call in, how do you treat your boss, how do you treat your coworkers. Beyond that, they're learning marketing, merchandising, pricing, customer service, mechanic, barista.
I work in the thrift store. I've never worked in a thrift store or clothing or anything, so it's different and it's new and it's a blessing.
I graduated the program 2 years ago, and then right after getting out of the shelter, they hired me. I got out in May, and they hired me in July. I love coming to work. I love it here. I love the people. The residents are awesome. With all the volunteers, everybody here is just, they're great. And I want to be more like them, so I tend to try to cling to them.
We might offer drug addiction, we might offer mental health, we might offer job training, job coaching, housing after the ministry, but really our core purpose is to help people restore their relationship with Jesus Christ.
I found Jesus, so I'm a baby Christian and I'm gonna get baptized next week. I'm so much happier now in the past 3 months than I have been in a really long time.
There's no way I could express how I feel for Open House. They've done so much for me. They've changed my life, and they gave me a better outlook on myself, my life, my kids. And without them, I wouldn't be sitting here, and I know that.
We are changing our community. I think that we're starting to change our neighborhood. I have watched families become whole and beautiful by God's grace and forgiveness.
I've been a pastor for 20, 30 years, but I've never been anywhere like this. Lives change all the time, and it's substantial.
Been here for about 20 years, and I watched people who I was on the streets with, and I watched them come into the shelter, and they begin to have hope. All of a sudden, they're learning to pray, and they're learning about who God is instead of trying to survive or make it through the day. Now they're able to be given life.
I've always loved helping people, so this is like sparked my fire in wanting to do more of that and maybe be an advocate for the homeless, because I was somebody who was in that position. Now I'm doing great and I want to help other people do great, because it is possible, you know, and with this place I believe I can achieve that.
Without their classes here, I would have never found God. I would have never even seeked Him. You know, I was kind of mad at Him. I hated Him for a long time. I come here, you know, and then I met all these people that were Christians. They were all so happy. They had everything in life that I wanted, other than they had God. And I was kind of resistant to that. But now I look at my sickness as a blessing, you know, from God, because without it, I would have never tried to seek Him. Now maybe I can help somebody along their way that felt the same way that I did.